guilty of crime.
Hello, everybody. What's up? For those of you that are early, you know the drill. I'm Jay with Guilty of Crime, and happy Saturday. Happy holidays. We've got Christmas Eve, which many of you. I'll share my quick little tradition on Christmas Eve. So Christmas Eve has always been about families, right? Families, you guys know, if you know me, I have 2 children and a wife for the last 20 years. And on Christmas Eve, the kids are always so excited to open something, right? So we have a Christmas Eve pajama pajama like present. So we always get pajamas. We always get matching pajamas. So we all look like goofballs, right? But we all got the matching pajamas and we're dressed up all the way until Christmas. And now that I've got my 10-year-old, she's not just going for pajamas, y'all. She's not going for pajamas. She's like, where's my present? I don't just want clothes, girl. I want a toy. I want something fun. So welcome everybody. Welcome. I got on here a little early so I can say my little happy holiday thing. And yep, I got the new geek bar. I just ordered them. Sad thing, sad day in California, y'all. I got a message from the company that I order these from saying that California isn't allowed to have flavor vapes anymore. What? We pay so much money in California to live here. They're going to take away the flavored vapes. They're going to shut their store down and they can't ship to California. So I'm going to have to find one of those stores. And you guys know, you guys see me when I say I follow most of the laws. I know you guys get a kick out of that. I follow most of the laws because I will go into a vape store that's not supposed to sell vapes, but they sell them behind the scenes. So I walk in, they hand me this card with all the vape flavors, and they're like, hey, we got the vapes in the back. We got the vapes in the back. What kind you want? What kind you want? And it's a vape. I mean, it's a vape with nicotine, y'all. I, hey, I follow most of the laws, like I said. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, we're talking about Jennifer Soto. Now, I say new information on immunity deal. Are the cops closing in? We're having a discussion today. Now, I'm reacting to What's the Obsession. She had a 3-hour discussion the other day, and I love her insight. I love her feedback. She's so analytical. So we're going to hop back and forth onto different things that I want to react to, that I just had so many thoughts, and I have so many new things to talk about over the next few days. So tomorrow I'm off, but Monday I'm talking about Stefan Stearns and the motion for the jury, motion of instructions for jury, which, guys, ladies, I don't even know how the trial's going to go down. I know Jennifer Soto's probably going to be a witness. I saw her on the witness list. And then Tuesday, we're going to talk about Madeline Soto case, year in review, timeline. So everything's just meshed in my head right now. It's meshed in my head because I've got this case I'm talking about with all these new things. I'm going to share the drive with you that Plunder did. We're going to talk about that because we've been so heavily into that day that Madeline went missing and what Stefan Stearns did, what Jennifer Soto did, what happened. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's just crazy. Yeah, Foxy Amazon says, don't be janky. Meander over there and hit that like button. It's a Saturday. I love you guys. Love you. Love my Guilty of Crime fam. My mods, you guys have been just awesome. Nancy Jean, I would love to absolutely be at that trial, but it's not going to happen on the dates that says they are. It says it's going to happen in early 2025. That's not going to happen. So I got a new contractor out here. You guys know I haven't had a roof or ceilings for a long time. So hopefully early 2025 I get my house back and then I can set aside money for a trip to Florida. Absolutely, you guys, absolutely. Thank you so much, Minnesota girl, for the 199 super chat. If you have the means, donate. If you don't, hit that like button. It's free. Welcome, Christine Fontura for Tornado. Thank you for joining the membership. I appreciate you and everybody that is here to support my channel every day. Let me hit this puffer since we just started the show and I had so much to say. All right. Now I feel better. All right. Yeah, one love. What's up? How you doing? How you doing? Elizabeth, good to see you. Gemini, my girl. And awesome mods. All right. Hey there, beautiful. What's up, Kathleen? How you doing? Yeah, I would love to go, and I'm all about going to Florida and being there. I'm not going to be there for the whole trial, but I'd love to be there for a few days and meet you guys, whoever's going to be out in Florida, get some inside information. And be boots on the ground. I'm all for it. You guys know me. I do what I say and I say what I do. Wild Man's Mom, hit the like. I got number 61. Welcome everybody. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. I love to see you guys on a Saturday. I don't get to spend time with you on a weekend, but I'm off of work until January 6th. So you guys are going to see me pop up quite a bit, very often. Over the next 2 weeks, you're going to catch Jay in the middle of the day. I rhymed. Right. I want to introduce my new pickle, the crime crew, one of my beautiful crime crew members, none of the mods, just one of my people sent me a pickle. And I got a nasty pickle coming, but she sent this cute pickle that you can't see because it's green, like the green screen. But listen to this. All right, you can see the mouth. Check this out. Listen to the sound. It's a yodeling pickle. Somebody sent me a yodeling pickle. Now, you know my green screen is bright green, and this pickle is bright green, but you can hear it yodel. You hear that? It's a yodeling pickle. So let's hope my nasty pickle that comes in, the grumpy pickle that comes in, that's going to be in a jar. Let's hope that one we can see it. I think it's a nasty, dirty pickle, and you're going to be able to see it. All right. So welcome the yodeling pickle to the crime scene, at the crime scene, and of course we always have the evil potato, trigger warning, all that. Welcome. Hello, everybody. Good to see you. I think it's about that time. It's 4:03. The show started. All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Yes, a yodeling freaking pickle, you guys. And I know how to make you guys smile, and you know how to make me smile. So thank you. Thanks, everyone. I hope you guys are in the spirit. Thank you, Foxy Amazon, Veronica Villanova, 420 gifted memberships. Oh, yeah, it's 4:03. Last time I came on the weekend, I got here at like noon and nobody was even awake. So today I did better. What's up from Australia? Sonia Finnegan, how you doing? Gen X, haven't seen you in a little while. Welcome, LJ. You called for it. You called for it. You know what's a pickle? There's a dirty pickle, and I'm going to call that as Stefan Stearns. He's an angry pickle, and he's got an angry pickle that's a pinky winky or an angry pickle, whatever you want to call it. This thing's got little bumps on it and grooves. kind of like his cactus. So yes, welcome, welcome. One of my crime crew members sent me a pickle, and Sharon Belko sent me beautiful flowers today. By the way, that was awesome. So thank you, Sharon. Let me show you a picture. I posted it on my channel. But look at those. Look at those beautiful flowers that she sent me. It's over on my community page. There's Sharon. Welcome, Sharon. Thank you so much. Yeah, the dirty Stefan Stearns pickle. Thank you for those flowers, girl. I appreciate that. Made my day. We don't have a Christmas tree, you guys, because I don't have room. We're living in the living room right now. I don't have a room. Half of my house doesn't have ceilings because we're waiting to get it fixed. So we don't even have room for a Christmas tree, but it's all good. I got live flowers to brighten up the Scott family house. All right. All right, let's go. Yes, beautiful flowers. Thank you. What's up, Mary Silva? How you doing? Let's get into this today. We're going to start with this. It's going to be, it might be at one of the longer streams that I have because it's a Saturday and I have a lot to talk about today. And I want to welcome Watts the Obsession. I'm going to bring her channel on and let's listen to her creative flow and the detail that she brings. So we're going to hop back and forth. This might not be your favorite person that I bring on first, but it's very insightful. I never brought this one on my channel before. And well, she was a prosecutor. You guys know who I'm talking about. Nancy Grace. She did an episode about a month ago that talks about Maddie Soto's mom getting immunity. And it's such a different perspective that I've seen anywhere else. So I had to bring it because we need to talk about it. What's with Stefan Stearns and his dirty pickle? Well, we did an episode about Stefan Stearns' junk, and us creators get pictures behind the scenes with the FOIA request and the different requests that we have. And there's a picture out there of Stefan Stearns' penis. I'm just going to say it like it is. It's Stefan Stearns' cactus penis. And I was told that his penis has appendages coming off the sides and it's really weird looking and odd shaped and it has this pink spot on it that's recognizable. So we call it the cactus peen, but if you were to able to see this pickle, you'd see it has like bumps and things on it and it's a dirty pickle and it yodels. So, it just is what it is. When my crew sends me something, I'm going to happily put it on my desk and introduce it. All right. You're confused. Leanne, I'm confused. My birthday is on the 19th. I lost a day. Not so bad. Took 2 days. Well, Sabrina, happy birthday. That was 2 days ago. Happy birthday today for 2 days ago. And I'm glad you guys are LJ. I got you rolling on the floor rolling, laughing your ass off. What's up, everybody? Good to see you. There's people here, lots of people here that I haven't seen. So, welcome from Brisbane, Australia, Parian. Good to see you. And Pastel, I got you guys already laughing. Yes, poor Maddie. We're going to get into that. Absolutely. Stefan Stearns didn't shower often before, and he sure didn't shower when he got to jail. We know for 21 days at least that he didn't shower, and then many other times that he didn't. So, if you're eating a pickle, I'm sorry. If you saw the pickle, it's so cute though. All right, and thank you, Dolo. Y'all doing a good job. Detective couldn't let her accountable. Well, we're trying. We're trying to get Jennifer Soto from all angles, and we saw some fraud that she committed. Not only with the GoFundMe that was for Maddie's funeral, but she also frauded the PPP loan that came from government funding. So that's a federal offense, you guys. Go back and watch that episode. We dug real deep in there and hashtag arrest Jen Soto, everybody. That's what we want to do is get Jen Soto arrested. Gen X, you said it. You absolutely said it. All right, Elizabeth, hello. All right, let's get into this. Let's watch these claw hands of Jennifer while we break this down for you. She's just sitting there with that roll that Grish so graciously made a bunch of rolls and did this awesome video. And she's just kind of, I don't know what Jen Soto was doing, but let's find out. All right, the rewind crew. We just started, so you're right on time. All right, listen up.
Them to sleep upstairs in the guest bedroom so that I could get a good night's sleep. I think we need to get you a lawyer. But that was me assuming that you guys had the wrong guy, not that he had done all this to her. I don't know why I wasn't thinking him. I believe the sexual stuff, but I didn't want to believe that he had done anything evil to her.
What you just said is the sex stuff is fine.
It's not fine. I look back now and just like, he was lying.
And she just said, I look back on the sex stuff now and it wasn't fine. But at that moment and all moments before that, the sex stuff was fine, but taking Maddie's life is not. So you guys, you heard that. You've heard that many times. We've talked about it so many times. Yes, it's 410 in California. You've heard that so many times, her saying that, which means that Jenn Soto knew about Stefan and Maddie in this non-consensual relationship, because it's not a relationship when you're underage. So it was up until that point that she said that, she said, I thought about it and it was fine until I think about it now. So let's just be real, everybody. She knew what was happening with Stefan Stearns and Maddie. She wanted to keep Stefan around. She pimped her daughter out for whatever drugs that she was getting, for whatever money that was coming in from the CSAM. I mean, I'm going to be the harshest that I ever have been on Jennifer Soto because I'm tired of her. I'm tired of her having a deal that nobody else would get, that did that to their child or should get. All right. So, yeah, that that part exactly. And look at this right here. Look at that picture. Best day ever. When was that the best day ever? Because they weren't together really. That was all for show right there. It was a mutual agreement that they had. She had an agreement with Stefan and got what she wanted, and he had an agreement with Jenn to get what he wanted. And the big thing that he wanted was Madeline. All right. Welcome, Kylie. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Stella. I haven't seen you in a while. Yolanda, what's up? Let's keep going. It's a rare picture right there too, by the way, because I look through hundreds of pictures and I can't find many with Jenn and Stefan Stearns together near each other and in the bed either. They didn't sleep together in the bed alone. They put Maddie in the middle, and no picture. All the pictures, Stefan's touching Maddie somehow, or following Maddie, or pining after Maddie, or she's on him, and Jen's over there off to the side. So this is a rare picture, you guys. All right. Hashtag arrest Jenn Soto.
He was faking.
We can go even worse. She's pregnant. Have you ever found a pregnancy test at home?
I have two underneath the kitchen, the bathroom sink, but I haven't seen if they're still there or not.
Joining us, an all-star panel to make sense of what we are learning now. Not only do we learn that Maddie Soto's mother, Jenn Soto, has gotten a form of immunity. What was so important that they needed, the state needed from Jenn Soto, that she's getting almost a free pass. First, to Shannon Butler joining us, investigative reporter from WFTV 9. Shannon, thank you for being with us. What do you believe?
Now, this perspective, although we've all had different views on this immunity, this meant something. Them giving her that one-time immunity meant something, and that's what we're talking about today. What it meant was that they really want to have Jenn on the stand when those trials eventually come, because I'm sure they will. There's two trials, one for the 60 sex acts and the other for the capital offense that he took Maddie's life. So what it means is they want to get that statement so they have enough to bring her as a witness. So when they go to the preliminary trial, they can have her statements in that prelim and say, here's Jenn. This is what she's going to talk about. She didn't lie. She didn't do anything wrong. She can, in fact, be a state witness because she's not part of it. They did that strategically, you guys. They didn't do that just to see if they can trip her up, because Jenn Soto's, she's smart, but she's not that smart. And they know what to say to prod her to get what they want her to say. They know how to poke her to do what she does. Yeah, so gross. And Jojo just told me that Jojo and Bree sent the pickle. So thank you. I got another pickle coming on the way. I got two pickles. I got an angry pickle and then another one in a jar. So I didn't know this was from the mods. The Yodeling. All right. Thank you, mods. I didn't want to give the wrong people credit. Anyway, hit the like button. There's 378 people in here. It's free to hit the like button. Get this in the algorithm. And just remember why they did this with Jenn Soto. They did this so they can have a credible, what they call state witness for the trials. All right. They didn't do that just to be nice to Jenn Soto or to appease us. There's a reason. There's a reason.
I believe it is the state can get from mom Jenn Soto that's so valuable they would give her immunity from prosecution.
Oh,
Well, they didn't tell
Marilyn
us that
sent
they
it.
had any valuable information. What they said is they couldn't find anything that would connect her to any crime. So I think what they're doing is trying to use her to help with this case more than try to continue to go after her in case that hurts the case down the road. She at least knows his behavior. So she does provide them some information, but they told us they just didn't have enough to charge her with anything in any of these scenarios.
Shannon, nobody gets immunity ever from the state unless they've got something to add testimony wise. If you cannot pin a crime on someone, if they're not connected to a crime, fine, don't prosecute them, but you don't have to give them immunity. Listen.
I said, you guys, I need a good night's sleep. I need to take my meds.
I need a good night's sleep. I need to take my meds. So you're right, Leanne. Jenn, she's smart enough to act dumb. I love your guys' conversation here. Jenn is such a troll next to Maddie, right? She does look like a troll. Maddie was beautiful. May she rest in peace. And we see what they were doing with her now. We see pictures of her dressed up, Maddie dressed up as an older person. She did not look like she was 13, and she barely made it to 13. But some of the pictures I've seen of her and the way that Jenn dressed her and put makeup on, I mean, Maddie was taller and prettier than Jenn, and I see what was happening. I see that Jenn, in my opinion, was being an evil potato and giving Stefan what he wanted and getting what she wanted. But I need to take my meds, right? That's a classic right there. I need to take my meds and go to sleep. I'm not even sure if she saw Maddie before she went to bed that night. When she got home between 10:30, she gets home and sending them to bed at 11. I'm not so sure she even saw Maddie after that birthday party. Now, I'm not sure about later on when she could have walked in on something and not been happy about it and been involved in the taking of Maddie's life, but that 30 minutes they have different stories about, so it kind of concerns me about that. All right, yeah, pickles and potatoes, what's up with that, right? Thank you so much, Graciela, for the 5 guilty of crime memberships. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you so much. All right, let's listen to Jenn.
I sent them to sleep upstairs in the guest bedroom so that I could get a good night's sleep. Suggested that we all sleep together in the same bed together, but not the easiest person to sleep with. She rolls around, she punches, she kicks.
And before Nancy goes, why would she even say that? That Maddie suggested. She's a 13-year-old, barely 13. She puts it on Maddie. She puts it on Juan that he rented out rooms. And she just put it on Maddie that Maddie suggested they all 3 sleep together in the room. She's 13 years old, just turned 13. And you're going to blame it on Maddie suggesting they sleep together?
We have obtained crime scene photos. Jenn Soto and her then live-in boyfriend were kicked out of the condo while police effected a search. We've obtained those photos. First, let's look at Maddie's room. Her room was essentially part of the downstairs living room, and it was essentially a bed cordoned off by this see-through partition. There on the bottom level of the home. What more do we learn in the crime scene photos? Those boxers right there belong to Stefan Stern. They were pictured at, and that's Maddie's bedroom area. Those boxers.
Right, I'll go back real quick because we talked about this before, but then we talked about it and didn't have the picture in front of us. This room was being cleaned, by the way. This was getting cleaned up. But if you see these boxers, these are Stefan's, obviously, and this is Maddie's room. If you look over there under the bed, there was some kind of, I don't know if that was throw up or slime back there, and then her clothes, you can see little kid socks, and or you can see the sock that's like Lilo and Stitch, and then his boxers right on top of her. So who was doing the laundry? Was it Jen? Was it Maddie? I know Stefan wasn't, but was it okay for them to mix clothes like that? Why was that ever okay? Wouldn't please never make that okay? Any of you people, I don't care whose boxers. I don't care if it's your older son with a younger daughter. They need their own space. They need their privacy. That is not okay. Yeah, and that's not private at all. We calculated how much money she was getting for that condo at one point, and it was over $3,000. She did not need to give Maddie a half ass room. Welcome, Undead Ramen. Good to see you. And 420 exactly. Foxy Amazon just gifted another Guilty of Crime membership. Yeah, I don't think it's weird for us to see that, but I'm sure that was an everyday occurrence over there.
Pictured at, and that's Maddie's bedroom area. Those boxers in her laundry basket were pictured in the videos that were found on his phone. And then in the next photo, you see her bedding, Maddie Soto's bedding, which also appeared in the sex molestation videos on Stefan Stern's home, according to police. That bedding proves.
So did you hear that? We have obviously are probably never going to, nor do we want to see those pictures, you all. But those pictures and that bedding match pictures in Stefan's CSAM and all those 1,500 pictures of that they talk about of Maddie being involved in that bedroom. So he was doing sex stuff to Maddie in that bedroom, and they matched up the blankets and they matched up the stuffed animals and they matched up the sheets, and they could see the little table in the background. They looked for things. They looked for things that would match to make sure that they got the right place where they found the pictures being taken. I'm telling you, it has been downstairs. What has been downstairs? I missed something. Okay. So yes, those pictures, they right in the middle of in the middle of the house, you guys. There's not even a door there. How was he molesting Maddie in an open room where a bunch of adults live there, including Jenn Soto, that should have been watching her daughter? How is that possible? And yeah, now that's Stefan Stern's boxers in Maddie's room, but he was also, like she said, he was essaying her in that room, and I'm sure there's lots of instances where they saw that match up to the back. This is basically in the living room with no door or walls. No way Jen didn't know. And what about the roommates, you guys? What, did they just turn a blind eye completely?
Happen in the home. So we now know that, according to police, and the murder happened in the home. It's extremely poignant that on her bed are her little stuffed animals. But to another shot, all of that bedding, of course, becomes state's exhibits. We believe this is another room where Stefan Stearns slept on occasion. And we know that the room where he slept with Maddie at her mother's direction had a lock on the door. And I mean, not just the kind that go with the doorknob, full on locks. You were seeing crime scene photos that we obtained from police files. Back to Shannon Butler joining us, WFTV 9. Shannon, many would argue that sending your daughter to go sleep with your adult living boyfriend is gross neglect that exposed her.
I mean, the public here in Central Florida has said over and over again, we don't understand. We don't understand how she's not held to any accountability in this situation. But like I've told you before, police just don't seem to have anything they want to charge her with.
Exactly.
And speaking of mom, Jenn Soto's response after Maddie first goes missing, this is what she said.
When you guys showed me the picture of her, I believed the sexual stuff, but I didn't want to believe that he had done anything evil to her. I'm like, no, what if he did this stuff fine, but what if she's still missing out there? What if somebody took her? I still wanted to believe I believed him. I believed his whole story.
She believed his whole story. Now this was in response to, because we missed the first part of it. They started the clip late. This was in response to them saying, why did you tell Stefan to get a lawyer? Why did you call your ex to help find him a lawyer? And she says, I believe the sex stuff up until that point, but not the not the evil, not him taking her life. And I thought they had the wrong guy. So that's what that was in response to. And yeah, I did you see those locks on the door as well? That was the different door. That was the door that Stefan had, that he had full access to. That was the one that had the GUN in the top. He had his 9mm in the top drawer with a bottle of lube and nothing really in the room, because I believe that's where he did a lot of his pictures, where he was trading them and putting them online. So there was nothing that they could recognize. And you guys know he had thousands of pictures of CSAM that he was trading, and probably now we know selling. Thank you, Fiona Ray, for the $2 pounds. I appreciate you. Merry Christmas to you. Did she never check the girl's room? Too busy sleeping. Did she never check her phone? Did she really never look at Stefan's phone? Because he had that all over his phone. All right. Yeah. Welcome, everybody. Welcome.
Story. So I was just like, I kept repeating that part. I'm just like, what if she did get dropped off? What if she got abducted? What if she's missing?
Okay, Shannon Butler joining me, investigative reporter, WFTV9. Did I just hear mommy correctly? She says, when you showed me the picture of her, which I think is a euphemism for her boyfriend, her daughter, and videoing it on his cell phone, I think that's the picture that she's talking about. Quote, I believe the sexual stuff, but I didn't want to believe he had done anything evil to her.
Yeah, and you can hear from that interaction with those deputies, there was a lot of pause that they took, even after we talked about this later on, about why she didn't quite understand that what was happening there, at least in that interview, was evil and was wrong. There was a lot of concern about that in the beginning. That's what started them really trying to take a look to see if there was any.
And that's a later on picture. This is obviously closer to the time where she was 13. In one of the next pictures that we see later on, Maddie's about an inch or 2 inches taller than Jenn, much prettier. Stefan had no interest in Jenn. And you guys, you ladies know that, right? You know that if you have a man, and you know if he's interested in you or not. You know if it takes a year and a half to say, hey, do you want to hook up? And he says to you, sure. But he's showering your daughter with gifts and presents. And you saw Maddie, that little picture when she was a tiny little girl, where she's on his shoulders. I also wanted to show you the way she's touching him, or the way she's like normally kids will hold you under your neck and smother you. She's got her hands flat. Her body language says at that point she didn't want to touch him. I want to show you that, because I saw that the other day and I said, look at her hands. Body language says a lot. Look at her hands, you guys. I'm going to make it big so you can see it. Whenever I've played chicken with the children, I played chicken in the summertime. I take pictures and we play chicken with the kids, and I get strangled. My neck, they're giving bear hugs, and my hair's getting smashed. Look at her body. Look at the body language in there, how she's holding on to his head. It does say a lot. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. She's got her hand flat, the very top of his head, doesn't want to touch him, or she's not real comfortable. And now this is in the very beginning. This is in the beginning, probably right around the time where he was fully grooming her. And I'm sure just, oh, look at that dumb potato right there with her big gummy smile. All right. So yeah, you saw that too. Welcome, everybody. You see that? Look at her. Poor Maddie. Yeah, that's when it started. And that's not a true smile either. But look at her body language, though. She just, you guys know, you guys seen when children do chicken, they're holding on for their dear life onto you, in your face. And it's just, Stefan looks happy as can be, but Maddie doesn't. She looks uncomfortable to me. All right, let's keep going. I just wanted to show you that because it really bothered me. That picture bothers me every time I see it. She's so little, you guys.
That interview was evil and was wrong. There was a lot of concern about that in the beginning. That's what started them really trying to take a look to see if there was any involvement with Jenn Soto and what had happened to Madeline Soto. It was that comment right there that kind of started that ball rolling.
She better have something explosive in exchange for immunity, which means she will not be prosecuted for anything deriving from those statements that she gave under immunity. But that's not all. Even after she realizes police are focusing on her live-in, listen.
But that was me assuming that you guys had the wrong guy. I wanted to think he was a good guy still, but clearly he's not. After everything you guys have told me and have shown me, I know he's the worst person on this face of the earth right now. I started saying to him, like, I think they're focusing in on you. Like, we need to call your dad, and I think we need to get you a lawyer.
There it is. Get you a lawyer.
I feel like they're focusing on the wrong person. And he kept saying the same thing. He kept repeating.
Of course he's going to say that. Of course.
They're focusing on the wrong person.
Okay. Raymond Giudice, veteran defense attorney, former prosecutor. The mom says, hey, live-in. They're focusing on you. We got to get you a lawyer pronto. What? Okay. Whoa. So she knows her daughter's missing. She knows the boyfriend was last with the daughter. She knows the boyfriend somehow knows what the daughter's wearing when she goes missing. She's sending them to bed together when she wants a good night's sleep. How she could sleep through that, I do not know. But now, when police let it be known, he is the suspect, the prime suspect. She's saying, hey, honey, we got to get you a lawyer. I mean, my fingers are tingling. What I would do if someone touched the twins and she's trying to get him a lawyer?
And you guys all realize that too. We're all upset about that, right? I mean, I get upset when my daughter tells me someone's being mean to her at school or unfair or whatever, right? I mean, last night my daughter got sick last night. Anyway, prayers for her at 2:00 in the morning. She threw up and she kept throwing up, and it was the color, sorry to be graphic, but the brown and the red, when like the sick. So I was up with her last night. And today she's not feeling good. Thank you so much, Oh the Humanity, for the $5 super sticker. And it breaks my heart when my daughter's sick. But when you think about when Jenn was just talking about knowing that he essayed her and abused her like that, and she knows the thing that Stefan Stearns is into, but she's getting him a lawyer for the taking of Maddie's life, which they didn't quite know yet. So yeah, what's worse than a child that has a scratch, a bug bite? They show mommy. I'm sure she told her raggedy mom. So sad, right? Yeah, thank you guys for that for Reese. Yes, she's not eating. I fed her chicken noodle soup earlier with mostly the soup and then Sprite. So I've got it under control. I've got it under control. I'm feeling a little bit slow today too. So if I'm not that hyper guilty of crime, it's because I was up late, but I'm still here with you guys and I'm grateful.
Nancy, clearly prosecution here, and I think not to attack these deputies, they should have had a much more experienced either assistant district attorney or a serious investigator that specializes in crimes against women and children. They did not need to do the statement this way and give her immunity. She hasn't been accused of anything, and I think that's the way it's going to be unless the prosecution, and it's a very high burden, can find evidence of a crime against her outside of this statement. And the burden shifts to the prosecution to prove that the statement did not lead to the finding of any new evidence. They had enough evidence on his phone alone to put him with a no bond, and that would be here in Atlanta, on the images, the child porn images on his phone. You let him sit, you let him stew, and you continue to investigate the case. But she's got immunity, and the prosecution, unless they know something else up their sleeve against her, she's got that pass, Nancy, to get out of jail.
I sent them to sleep.
All right, so she's got that pass for now to get out of jail. And thank you, Sonia, for the $14.99. Bye, Risa. Get well. I absolutely will. I got presents coming in for her. I just got something today from JoJo, a little bluey card set where you can play charades, which is awesome. We love playing games. The holidays, holiday time, we love having different games to play with each other. So we're interacting with each other. So thank you so much. Merry Christmas to all of you guys. Choo choo. I'm gonna make that noise. I should do the yodeling. Thank you so much, Granny Rose, for the $20 super sticker. I wonder if that's the grandkids picture there. I see is that Donatello? It's the purple one. I don't know which one's the purple one. I think it's Donatello, the orange one. Anyway, that's the Ninja Turtles right down there. Shout out to Granny Rose. Love you, girl. I appreciate you. Here we go. I can't even. It's not child P, it's CSAM. Right. Exactly. It's not PORN because it's not consenting. Now, PORN is made between adults that do that, right? We all dabbled in watching that with our partner or whatever, or not your partner, but PORN is for consenting adults, not children. It's called CSAM. Thank you, Veronica. I love that too. Thank you, Marilyn. Marilyn's the one that sent this particular one. Okay, Michelangelo's orange. Okay, oh yeah, I gotta get my Ninja Turtles right, you guys. Got a lot of studying to do. All right.
Upstairs in the guest bedroom, so that I could get a good night's sleep. I think we need to get you a lawyer. But that was me assuming that you guys had the wrong guy, not that he had done all this to her.
The most important thing today is to tell the truth. I also explained derivative use immunity, which means if you said that there was a gun, and obviously there's no gun in this case, buried in your attorney's yard, we couldn't go dig up that gun if you told us that, oh yeah, there was the gun that was used is right there. We wouldn't be able to do that. We would have to show that we learned all those things independently from this interview.
It's called derivative use immunity.
Okay, let's listen to this.
Lawyers love to make everything.
Okay, this is the part that I really wanted to bring to my attention, your attention, and really learn this, because the way that it comes from her and the guest that she has is much different than the way that it was explained to me or that I've explained it. And obviously, there's lots of different sides to things, right? Nothing's in a box. And Marilyn, stop teasing me. Stop teasing me. Hello, Chief. What's up, my man? All right. So yeah, it's let's listen up here, because this is a different way than I've heard. And so I was like, I need to, along with that and the conversation that the lovely Kelly from What's the Obsession explained it, I had to bring it. Kylie was there the other night on that conversation. Shauna, you're green. Lots of people are green. Let me see if I can give some memberships. Thank you so much, Fiona, for the $1 a pound. You know my spiel. If all 20,000 people gave me $1, I would have my roof back on by now. And I also do want to talk about that. You say Jay, the Osceola clerk of county, and Kevin Soto could be a relative of the Raggedy Mob. Nope, we've looked into that. And I have to talk about that conversation too at some point, about the sheriff that accidentally put Maddie's photo of her being dead online. Now, I was one of the unlucky people that saw that picture. And I'm glad most of you probably didn't see it, but he got a slap on the wrist for that. And we will talk about that. Thank you, Stella, for the Guilty of Crime membership. Yeah, the skanky empanada. If you know, you know.
Everything sounds so complicated. And they also like to throw in Latin phrases. So be ready for that. Derivative use immunity. Immunity is like an immunization, right? That protects you from, let's just say, the measles or the mumps, the vaccine. Immunity in this case means immunity from prosecution in exchange for your statement. Derivative use immunity means you can't be prosecuted from anything that comes from your statement. That is what derivative use immunity means. In a nutshell, Ray, yes, no.
Thank you, love.
Absolutely. I would have charged
you couldn't do it in one word. You owe me $1. Okay. Yes. All right. Now, Ray, I want you to hear the bit that we've managed to obtain. Then I'll bring in the rest of the panel. We've gotten some of her new statement that she gave after getting immunity. For those of you just joining us,
All right. So after getting immunity, and remember what I said at the beginning of the show, if you just got in here, remember they need a statement for their preliminary hearing, for their anybody to make the case that Jen's going to be a good state witness in order for them to protect her over these times. And they don't have enough evidence, in my opinion. Obviously, they haven't arrested her, so they need a statement that's going to be. She didn't have to talk, by the way. She didn't have to get that lawyer. She didn't have to talk, but they need something that's going to give her credibility to what she's saying. So I believe that's part of the reason why they did that as well. Since they couldn't find anything solid on her, if you can't beat them, join them. They're using her.
Maddie Soto was for years under her own mother's roof by mommy's part-time live-in. When I say part-time, the rest of the time, he lived in his own mother's house. Okay, not judging. That said, this went on for years. Little Maddie used to tell people, isn't this right, Shannon Butler, joining us, WFTV9, that she would tell people as soon as she was old enough, which I believe she thought was 13, she was leaving the home and going to live in the woods. I'm going to have to bring in a shrink on this. Dr. Melina Riba joining us. But Shannon, I've never heard one of my children say, I'm moving out and I'm going to live in the wild rather than live in this house. That should have been a big red flag to.
And you know what? Jen didn't care because she also, according to many of her friends, Maddie's friends, she told Maddie, when you're 18, I want you out of here. I'm not taking care of you. I don't want anything to do with you. You're a little bee. You know, they fought off it. Her and Maddie went at it. And I think the big reason that they went at it was the jealousy and the in that household with her and Stefan, it was the back and forth of Jen not getting the attention, Maddie getting the attention, Stefan giving that to Maddie, buying her gifts all the time. My girlfriend's daughter is what he said. He never said, "Oh, I bought my girlfriend a present." Not once did I ever hear him talk about Jen in any of his posts. And we've dug into his post, you guys. So that's what's happening. The dynamics and the energy in that house of yeah, Jen's not crazy. I like that. She's not crazy. She's a junkie. The dynamics of that household must have been very tense and awkward and like Jen didn't want Maddie there. If Maddie was old enough to get the heck out and Jen wasn't making any more money off of her, she'd have probably told her to go, in my opinion. So her leaving at 13 is not a stretch from Jen saying, when you're 18, you're out of here. Now, just don't run off with my man. Don't do the Woody Allen thing, right? So that's what she didn't want, was the Woody Allen thing. Yeah, two moms exactly the same. Exactly.
To everybody that she wanted to go live in a treehouse rather than in her own condo.
There was all sorts of things that the friends had said, and one of those was about living in the woods. But then another friend would say, you know, she really liked Stefan Stearns, and they were very, very close, and she was with him a lot, and they had a really close relationship. So I think that maybe that had been more of a red flag if there wasn't such a flip-flop on that she wanted to leave home, but that her friends just thought they had this really, really close relationship. I mean, for those of us who know the story now, that should have been a red flag too, but it just wasn't to her little friends. They just thought, you know, that he was a nice guy, a boyfriend of her mom's that really took I don't want to say liking, but it made a close relationship with Madeline. But
that's a controversial picture for many reasons. One, I want to say, in the background there, this was the time when people didn't know the full story. And if you look in that balloon, for some reason, somebody photoshopped a picture of Stefan in there. And also, if you look back at the back here, they were showing up like an image also saying there's a guy with a beard. This was her birthday party. And many people didn't like this picture because Maddie looked older than 13 there. Many people said she had a baby bump. Many people didn't like the dark circle she had. So this picture right here has been a controversial topic of this entire case from the time we started in what is it February until now. So I've heard lots of different things from lots of different people. Gen X says she looks defeated in this picture. Yeah, her Woody Allen statement says it all, but she said it all right there. We heard her say it all just a few minutes ago when she said, "I knew about the sex stuff, but that wasn't the concern. It was the evil of him taking Maddie's life." I'm sure she knew about what was going on. She didn't listen. She didn't want to know. She either turned a blind eye, or she was involved in it. Those are my two options for what was going on here.
That too, now we know, was probably a bit of a red flag.
Joining me, Allie Neal, longtime colleague, co-founder of Revved Up Kids, fighting to protect children from sex abuse and trafficking. It's worth a look at revvedupkids.org. Allie, thank you for being with us. Allie, that's a common misconception. Let me just first throw you something that you've taught for years. An adult doesn't need a child's help. So if a child says, "This guy asked me to find his puppy," don't get near that car. An adult doesn't need a child to help find the puppy. Same thing here. What is a grown man doing befriending a little girl and showing her such special interest? That should have been a signal.
So, Nancy, that's a yes and a no, because this is the mother's longtime partner. This is a family dynamic. So it's different than a stranger asking someone to help with a lost puppy. This is somebody.
No, it's a family dynamic, you guys, except for the family hated him. None of the family trusted him. Nobody respected him. He wasn't allowed to go to any of the things. And Jen's moms and sisters, they all felt something was wrong with him. So I don't understand what kind of dynamic that is in the family. I could see if they all had it wrong. They all had him pegged as this nice guy. Oh, he's so great. He did stuff for Jen. And, but nobody said that. Rachel Townsend, what's up? Morning, Jay and crew member for 5 months. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I don't know what family dynamic that they're in, but that's not the family dynamic that I would ever be okay with. And if I knew somebody I was feeling weird about it, or I thought they were this awful deadbeat, it'd be a different story, especially since Yolanda knew that Maddie didn't want to go home. She didn't want to go home after being at her house for a week. She had to have known something was wrong. And I don't know if they just all turned a blind eye or what. I'm driving, but I'll be listening. What's up, Michelle? How you doing? Glad you're here. Don't forget to hit
lived in
like.
her home. I'm sort of sticking on this runaway to live in the woods piece of it right now. And part of it might have been that this was a really dysfunctional couple, and that causes trauma to a child in the home too. So I assume some of it was the sexual abuse that was occurring, but this man probably had groomed her to a place where she thought this was okay, and she thought this was part of loving somebody, and she may have had a very blurry line regarding the sexual abuse. But in all of the stuff that I've read and heard, these were two people who were highly dysfunctional, and when one of them was down, they typically dragged the other one down. So it was just a really dysfunctional family environment that Madeline was swirling in, and all of it is incredibly unfortunate.
And dysfunctional's right. I guess that's what it was. It was a dysfunctional family unit, and Stefan acted to many people that didn't really know the unit like he was a stepfather, because to this day you see people talking about this case and they call him her stepdad and they call him Jen's boyfriend, when in fact they weren't even together when this happened, but they presented themselves as being boyfriend and girlfriend at the time that we see the body cam and the interviews. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Thank you, Rachel Townsend. Merry Christmas to you from the United States to Australia. Yeah, normalized from the get-go. It takes a while, though, to groom a child to believe that it's a normal thing and that's what love's supposed to be, and it's okay. Unbelievable.
Look at this video. It's body cam video of Stefan Sturms with Jenn Soto. This is after Maddie goes missing, and maybe I'm the crazy one, Dr. Marlena Reiba. but they don't look that upset. Look how calm he is. He knows,
Oh, yeah.
according to police,
Lots of
that
drugs.
he has. And I mean,
I'm glad.
this child for years, she's just turned 13. And he knows that she's dead in this video. And he's just chatting everybody up. How does that happen, Marlena, right? But I mean, if I even tell a lie, my face gets hot. I'm sure I'm going to get found out, which I always have. I even think back on it and I almost feel sick to my stomach. How can you stand there so calm when you have just murdered a little girl and discarded her body?
Yeah. So I think in this situation, unfortunately, it seems like there's a pattern of behavior that could be characteristic of someone that potentially demonstrates characteristics of someone with antisocial personality disorder.
Joining me also is Tom Smith, former NYPD detective, and Dr. Todd Barr, forensic.
And before we get into that, you all saw, and I saw your messages in the chat about the family looking at Jenn and Stefan. It's like they were in the spotlight right there. They were right dab smack in the middle, and everybody, all the family was looking at them. It's like they were like trying to see what they were saying and catch their body language, and nobody looked like they trusted them. Nancy Jean, love you, girl. If my granddaughter cried, I wouldn't let her go home, and I'm right there with you. I hope nobody would do that. Now that we have a case like this that's brought to our attention, please dig deeper. If a child does that to you, if it's not your child, it's a child that comes over and visits with your like a friend of your child, talk to him, ask him what's wrong, try to dig deeper. We're all armchair detectives here, right? Rachel, thank you. She gifted a one guilty of crime membership, you guys. That's awesome. Thank you so much. What's up, Michelle Horak? Good to see you. Kylie, and I'm in the body cam. Jenn literally sounds like she's studying and memorizing her speech for a class that she's about to give. Right. Yeah. Protect the children, follow your gut. Agreed.
Pathologist. But guys, I want you to hear, after she's been warned to tell the truth, they're giving her immunity. This is what she says.
So now you've broken up with Stefan in December of 2022, right? Mm-hmm. He's still paying rent and he's there full time in bedroom number 4. Is that where he goes after you break up?
No, he stayed in my room for a few months. We've broken up, but we weren't sure how to discuss it with Maddie because it was the middle of the school year and I didn't want to affect her in any way. Mm-hmm. So we just played it off, acted like everything was normal and fine for the first 6 months. And then eventually she caught on. And then once she did, we admitted to her that we were broken up. And then, yeah, at that point is when he moved up to bedroom 4.
Okay. It's my understanding that it's December of 2022 that you and Stefan kind of break up.
Yes.
But he still remains in the townhome.
Yes.
Why is that?
So even though we were broken up, I still considered him one of my best friends. I wanted to give him the opportunity to live there, and he had just gotten a job at Disney and was doing well.
Okay.
And I didn't want him to continue to lose that because he had been struggling for a long time to get a job or do anything.
There was something other going on, by the way. When she's talking about this, she's talking about what's going on and her trying to give him an opportunity. First of all, yes, very casual, the way she's talking. We know Maddie's missing. At this point, I don't know if they had found her. I don't think they knew that, or that she knew that she was not alive. However, or she might have. I'm not sure what date this one is because I'm not seeing it. But the way she's talking, she's not saying the other side. She's making herself sound like a saint. She wants to help him because, she wants to, much of a best friend. He's her best friend. She wants to give him the opportunity. Why didn't they ask, well, what was he doing for you? How much was he paying you? What was he doing for you? Was he helping you? Did he clean up? They never say anything about what was the other side of the coin. Sorry, I had to. All right. Stefan was a wreck before going there, and Jenn just happened to need some help. That's a big part of the story, Liz. I agree with you on that. The parents told us a bigger plan when they said Stefan was a wreck that whole weekend. And even Stefan told us himself that he was a wreck that weekend. He said he was worried about money, you guys. That's what he told the officers. All right. Tony says, I hate to ask Jay where Maddie was when these two pigs had relations in bed. Well, that's what we're talking about. Maybe she was there because she was always sleeping in the middle of the bed with them. So that's a good question because they never talked about her. They said she couldn't sleep on her own. So where did they go? Where did they go?
His own mental health issues.
Okay.
So I just wanted to give him a chance to like do something, be something.
Okay, let me understand something. Shannon Butler joining me, WFTV 9. Does Steph
All right, real quickly, you guys, does that look like a hotel room or like some kind of brothel or not? That's the room that she rented to Stefan. When you go to a hotel, you see the little white end table, you see a bed there. Even they have better than that. That doesn't have a headboard, it's just white sheets, white dresser with a light and a dresser. You can see the dresser with his things there. He's got like deodorant and some like stuff that he was traveling with, and then a fridge. That to me looks like a room that you pass through. Yeah, boarding house. I liked what Duty Ron called it a while back. The brothel is what he called it. There's nothing recognizable in that room. A hostel. If you want to take pictures and you're doing you're essaying someone or you got CSAM, there's nothing that you could recognize in the background that would tell you where that place is. And remember that the gun was in that top drawer there, by the way, and that he had that right next to the bed. So yeah, that's what that room looks like. Yeah, the no-tell motel. Texas Believer, new sub here. Hi, y'all. Welcome. And they did rent those rooms out, but we don't know if they rented number 4 out in that way that we talk about. Yeah, it does. It needs a Bible. Where's the hot plate? It looks just like a room that somebody passes by. And that's what it is. He got the stuff out here. Nothing's put away. There's nothing on the walls.
Stefan Stern have a job at Disney with children? Or is this more like a top mom Casey Anthony thing where she tells her whole family she works at Universal and even wears the uniform, but she really just sits on the sofa and eats chips all day when they leave?
No.
Did he really have a job at Disney?
No, that room was not vacant. That was the room that they had for him that had the lock. So if he had moved out for a second Nanaska Mercedes, that was number 4 right there. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm saying something wrong. That was the room that Stearns was in with the locks, number 4. Yeah, absolutely. That wasn't ready to rent out. Stefan was in between coming back. He had just came back. So you're right about that. But yes, he had just come back, and Jenn just told us right before this that he was going to come back and she was going to give him a chance. They were in between that. All right, let's keep going. I don't want to.
So there was a lot of confusion about that. So he didn't have a job at Disney at the time. He didn't have a job at the time. But there were reports that he had previously worked at Disney because there was a woman who said, I met him. We started dating because I met him when we worked at Disney. But when we had reached out to Disney when this case first came about, Disney's like, he never worked here. So there was a lot of confusion of whether or not he worked there or not. We still don't really know. I mean, we know what the women said. We met him when we all worked at Disney.
Okay.
But Disney claims
I got a question. Allie Neal, you got to help me. You hear Shannon Butler, WFTV 9. What is with women? A guy says, yeah, let's see. I'm a brain surgeon and I work at Mount Sinai. What? You don't check that out? You bring a guy into your home and let him physically sleep with your little girl night after night after night. And you don't check him out? This guy didn't work at Disney any more than I do.
Honestly, in this day and age, Nancy, it shocks me that anybody doesn't do a deep dive background check on any new person coming into their life, especially if they have children. It's just unfathomable to me that people don't go to Google and figure this stuff out. But also,
we do.
There might have been nothing on Google that would have told her that he was a problem. He could put on his LinkedIn that he worked at Disney, and unless she called for
right. And like I always say, what? Only 340 likes and there's 767 people here? What? Hit the like button, y'all. If you guys like the way I present true crime, you like the discussions we have, you like the evil potato, or if you don't like that, you like the yodeling, the new yodeling pickle that you can't see. All right. Anyway, if you take the time just for a second, 775 people here, it's free to hit the like button. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. All right, let's go.
For a reference check, how would she know for sure? Or ask for his Disney ID, maybe.
Go to Disney. You think I haven't been to my husband's office? Oh, yes, I have. There's more.
Yeah.
There's more about the breakup and mommy deciding for some reason, some obscure reason, he should stay there because of his fake job. There's more.
So now you've broken up with Stefan in December of 2022, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's still paying rent and he's there full time in bedroom number 4. Is that where he goes after you break up?
No, he stayed in my room for a few months. We'd broken up, but we weren't sure how to discuss it with Maddie because it was the middle of the school year and I didn't want to affect her in any way.
Mm-hmm.
So we just played it off, acted like everything was normal and fine for the first 6 months. And then eventually she caught on. And then once she did, we admitted to her that we were broken up. And then, at that point is when he moved up to bedroom 4.
All right. Now remember, he was gone for a month, and that's when Maddie was doing really well in school. She got student of the month. She wasn't getting all overdosed, double dosed for her sleeping meds. So she was going to school. She was on her A game. So that he was gone. Somebody was right about him being gone for a month, technically, but that was the room that he all white sheets, white, just everything with you can't tell, nondescript background is what I'm going to say. And I'm sure there was a reason for that. She had a lawyer with her at one point in this, in these interviews affect her. Jenn is the only one that believes BS coming out of her mouth. Yeah, and unfortunately, they haven't found anything to back up anything else, which I can't fathom why. I don't know how she's in none of the pictures, none of the text messages say anything. It's really weird.
Okay, Tom Smith, former NYPD co-host of Gold Shields podcast. Tom, isn't that taking the charade a little too far? Did you hear for the first 6 months? How long was she going to give him? He slept in her bed after the breakup because he was her, quote, best friend. What is wrong with this?
Exactly.
Well, she enabled everything that happened in this situation to happen. She didn't check him out. He's a predator. He is an evil, evil person that just preyed on her daughter. And she just shrugged it off. I mean, you hear the way she talks and her just calmness of everything going on. You know, part of interviews, Nancy, as you know, is getting the information, but also observing how it's being talked about and how it's being given to you. And those are signs that should lead detectives looking more into what her actions are and what she knows and what the enabling part of this situation was her fault.
You know, Ray Giudice, I agree with Tom Smith, but did you hear what she said, Raymond? And by the way, you are seeing crime scene photos that we have obtained from the police investigation. Ray Giudice, she said he paid rent.
Nancy, look, dysfunctional family is not a crime. She hasn't been charged with anything. She hasn't been indicted. And again, I agree with what Detective Smith just said. He and I have done shows with you together. I have a lot of respect for him, but that's not a crime.
And that's Maddie's room right there. So they took pictures with her underwear being thrown, Stefan's boxers being there. And I always wonder who gave her this Happy Valentine's Day love box, which was right before, right? And she also had a lot of little toys. I wonder how many things Stefan bought her, because it didn't seem like Jenn was doing that. It didn't seem like she was spoiling her. It didn't seem like she was like, oh, I just came home and bought you this little thing. So she's got a lot of those little dolls up there and a lot of little things. I wonder if those came from Stefan. Now, that's a good question, Angie, because I wondered that too. I wonder how much of Jenn's own stuff did she get rid of when they had that conversation? Do you remember when Stefan and Jenn were chit-chatting when Maddie was gone missing already? Stefan had dropped her off after their special McDonald's breakfast, and then she had her blood work and came back, and her and Stefan were chit-chatting, and that's the time when she said Stefan accidentally wiped his phone. I wonder what she did with hers and how many things that she got rid of. Welcome, MM Clark. Good to see you. I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you're awake. Yes, I absolutely have had that thought many times. She had the opportunity to delete things and delete them the right way. She could go through and delete what she wanted, and him, on the other end, wiped his phone out. So between the two deleting things, how many things did the cops were they not able to get a hold of? They did take her phone for evidence. They ended up with 4 phones in that house to go through and download.
And somewhere in that interview, if the detectives felt that they were stumbling or about to stumble on a crime, they should have terminated that interview, retracted and cut off the immunity at that point, gone up to the DA's office and gotten a charge against her, but they don't have one, and they're probably not gonna have one. And again, I'll go back to it again. She didn't have a lawyer to negotiate this immunity, and they just handed it over.
Please join us on our mission to find at her little friend's house. Listen.
She wanted to really sleep over her best friend's house, and I just kept saying, no, you never know what could happen. I don't know the dad, I don't know the brother, I don't know anybody there. Like, I don't know what could happen to you. So, just afraid of her getting assaulted.
Excuse me, Jackie, is my earpiece working? Because I'm pretty sure, Shannon Butler, I heard the mom saying, no, you cannot sleep over a little friend's house because I don't know the dad, and I wouldn't want you to get sex assaulted.
She can't even say that with this.
I know.
Okay.
Every time we listen back to these interviews, we find something else that we're like, what did she just say? She claims to not have known about the abuse in her own home. This is always what struck me. Look at this picture, Nancy, that you just put up there. His boxer shorts in her hamper. Yeah. I always wondered why there wasn't a question by her to say, how did your underwear get in my daughter's makeshift bedroom? I mean, they're right there.
Joining us now, Dr. Melina Ryba, joining us out of Myrtle Beach, forensic psychologist and research consultant. Dr. Melina, how do you not know what's in your laundry, your dirty laundry? I see way too much of our family dirty laundry. I know what's in there.
Yeah, and so I think, to the average person hearing that, that immediately raises a huge red flag. And so I think this really all comes back to the mother's parental fitness, right? And her capacity to protect her child. And so there's obviously a lot of details in this case.
She had the capacity. She told us many times that her mom told her not to trust a man. She just told us right there that she didn't want Maddie staying at friends because she didn't know their brother. She didn't know the dad or whoever was in the house. She also said that when Maddie was going to go visit her father. She was going to visit her father, and she said, well, I don't want anyone taking pictures of her in the bathroom or doing anything to her on the plane on the way over there. So she was very well aware of it. Yeah, that's what I believe, and I believe that all along, Angie, that she was the puppet master. I don't know if she's a master manipulator. I'm not sure I give her that much credit, but I do believe that Stefan it's going to come out that he's gonna come out with his hand. He's not showing his cards right now because he's not talking, but he's gonna blame some things on her more than he is now. I'm watching. What's up, Jazz? Petty says Jazz is watching but hasn't been commenting, and I understand that. Total projection, right? That was total projection. She didn't want Maddie to build trust and strong bonds with outsiders that she could confide in. Nailed that. I was thinking the same thing, and I bet Stefan was against her spending the night at a friend's house because he didn't want her having any outside people to talk to, and he also didn't. He was very jealous of her crush on. I said, oh, she's too young for that, but he's been doing that to her. He's been essaying her since she's a little tiny girl. None of that matches up.
That would suggest that she was not really doing a good job in any capacity in that regard, right? So we have the fact that she introduced unfit people to her children. There was a lack of reaction from her. in terms of being concerned about what was going on up until the disappearance of her child. There's certainly evidence that she was very permissive in terms of what was going on between her daughter and her boyfriend.
Right.
And it seems to me also that sort of the measures that she was, taking.
Following up on what Dr. Marlena Reiba just said, here you see the mom, Jenn Soto, worried about another person that could molest Maddie.
Maddie had the opportunity to go visit her biological father in the fall out in Texas. Is that a yes?
Yes.
All right. Do you remember texting the biological father, hope nobody touches Maddie or tries or films her under the bathroom? You remember sending that text?
There it is.
Orange County Sheriff's Office back in February?
No.
Because that seems like a very oddly specific thing to text the father. So you didn't know anything about what was going on filming underneath bathroom doors?
No idea. I don't know why I would have texted them.
Yeah, I don't know why.
And I wonder if we're going to bring it back. She says she doesn't know why. And then in a little bit, she's like, oh, yeah, those kind of things were going on in the area. I read it somewhere. She can't imagine why. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Now, those text messages came from her phone. So if you guys are wondering, and bye, Sharon, I hope your emergency is not too much of an emergency. Hopefully it's just a work thing. Why she get Maddie to her dad? Evil Potato did not love her daughter. I agree, Allie Callie, but I'll tell you right now why she didn't give Maddie to her dad, because she wanted the money. I'm telling you right now, not only the money, but Maddie was bringing in pills, you guys. Maddie was bringing in the Adderall, which is equivalent to METH. When you're doing Adderall like that, I hear people do Adderall, they sell it, they snort it, they whatever. It's a methamphetamine. So she was getting her pills, whatever, sleeping pills, whatever they were giving to Maddie, and dad was sending child support once a month. Also, I don't know if she was getting any thing from the state extra for having a child. She was also on disability. She also took her GoFundMe money. She also applied for a PPP loan, got it, and then dissolved her company. Now, you tell me, what did she have? What company did she have? Why would she get paid for a PPP loan by the government when she didn't have a company? And how was it dissolved? Now, Pink Banjo, you heard that. Yeah, I've got the evidence on that, about not only the GoFundMe, she didn't use it in the way that it was supposed to be used, but but all the money that she was getting for her daughter. And I'm sure Juan wanted her to have a safe place with Maddie. He loved Maddie. So I'm sure he wanted to have a safe place for Maddie. I'm sure if Jenn didn't have Maddie, that they wouldn't be coddling Jenn the way that they did. So everything was she had to have Maddie, or she wouldn't get that money and that sympathy that many mothers do that. And many bad mothers do that with their children. It's the same story, different day, different people. Grifters are us, right?
I would have done that. Raymond Giudice, you do know that another person that lived in the condo, this condo belonged to Maddie Soto's grandfather, and the grandfather rented out different bedrooms to different people, and they could all use a common area. Okay, that's how that worked. One of the other people that lived.
All right, let me just correct that, because Juan didn't rent them out. Jenn rented them out. If you see the people that were in the condo, it wasn't like they went to Juan and paid the rent. That was all Jenn. Jenn rented them out. All right. She rented them out, collected the amount of money that she wanted, and then paid Juan. I'd love to talk to Juan and find out how much he charged Jenn for the rent of that condo, because I'm telling you right now, he bought that condo many, many years ago. I believe it was already paid off. I believe he bought it for cash a long time ago, because we looked into it, how much it was sold for the last time that somebody bought it. And he was, so let's say he said to Jenn, hey, give me $2,000 for the whole condo. We now know that she was the one renting those out from the people that she found and collecting $600. $800 for one room, whatever, $650 for the other. We added it up last time, so it sure as heck was not Juan. She put that off on Juan, and I'm going to show you pictures after this. I've Bree sent me some pictures last time. I want to show you with Grandpa Juan and Maddie. I tell you right now, he didn't do that. Jenn did that, and she was probably profiting off of those people. She probably made a profit after all of the money that she got, and she pocketed it. That's what I think.
Lived there, Raymond, was a lady, a woman. And as it comes out on Stefan Sturm's phone, when they're looking at all these pictures of him, Maddie, her picture comes up, the renter, naked in her room. And what Stefan Sturm had been doing was putting his iPhone at the bottom of the door where there's a crack to where you could look up and see the woman walking around naked. She had no idea that that was happening. Now, what I'm asking you, you keep saying there's no evidence of a crime. I hear you. I don't necessarily agree, but I get what you're saying. What about this? What is she, clairvoyant? Like Scott Peterson, this is going to be my first Christmas without my wife. She's dead. And then poof, she was. Here, Jenn Soto is saying to the bio dad, I hope nobody touches Maddie or tries expletive or films her under the bathroom door. Wow. Isn't that quite the coinkydink, Ray?
Well, Inspector Clouseau gives her the get out of jail pass, and that now includes, as we continue to expand this interview, any of these text messages that she may or may not have sent to link it to any charges against her. So, you know, she's not charged with anything. I keep repeating it. And probably the reason is, or at least a solid reason, is this ridiculously tactically improper interview and the grant of the immunity. So Nancy, she should get a lawyer, but these guys really, quite frankly, have made it that she doesn't have to waste the money.
Joining us now is Dr. Todd Barr, board certified anatomic, clinical, and forensic.
Now, I do wonder where she got the money for that lawyer and the retainer. I really, truly am thinking that she got that from the GoFundMe, over $16,000. Good to see you, Maurice, from Australia, and everybody else that's been joining. We have 851 people in chat. Hit the like button if you would. Dawn Marie, guilty of crime. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to all of you. Yeah, she was smart enough to get a burner, I'm sure. Okay, there you go. Thank you, Lala. The condo was sold and then you say 2020, 189,009. The estimate right now, according to Zillow, is about, and that's not much, $2,240. So if you added up all the money that she was getting, I doubt she was even paying the $400. She was probably using the money from everybody else, which is fine as long as you have your daughter with her own room. Wilder child, what's up? Good to see you. All right, Jenn should be held accountable. I agree. She's saying that too.
Pathologist. He is at the Franklin County Forensic Science Center and the Office of the Coroner in Columbus, and featured in Thin Places, essays from in between. Dr. Barr, thank you for being with us. Dr. Barr, we also learn that Maddie's mother, Jenn Soto, kept a very scientific chart of Maddie's menstrual periods and even had multiple pregnancy tests in the homes. It would be arguable that she knew her 12-year-old daughter was having sex, but with who?
You would think so. I mean, she is as much admitted to this, that she knew about this, that this was going on, and makes excuses for him, which I just don't understand this. I mean, she basically had the power to save her own daughter's life.
Dr. Todd Barr joining us, guys, board certified anatomic, clinical, and forensic pathologist.
Now, I don't know about a lie detector test because I've never heard anything. So if I was to say that, I'd be lying. And I don't want to lie about a lie detector test. So I've never heard anything past Jenn saying, I'll take a lie detector test. I don't think they did that. I think that's just probably at this point irrelevant to anything. Lie detector tests don't really, they're not, you can't use them in court. And she does so many DRUGS Who knows? Now it was over 16,000, and you say GoFundMe is around 30-ish lawyer hours. Now to get a retainer for a lawyer, we're talking about 5 to 10 grand. So I'm sure that she used some of that money, and then her family or her mom or whoever probably paid or is paying the rest. She hasn't used him very much except for that 1 hour, and they did it 1 hour. That was it. So somebody's paying for it, you guys. Hashtag I took my meds. I love that. All right, let's keep going.
Just even with the degree of decomp, now it had only been a couple of days before her body was found, but she is out in the elements, and it is Florida.
Right.
How would you be able to tell?
Right.
This is precautionary, doctor, and you've been through plenty of trials to understand my concern. I think the video will come in off of his cell phone, but what if it doesn't? The state's got to be ready to prove that he, Stefan Stearns, Maddie Soto, who had just turned 13 years old. So how can we go about proving, even with the body in a partial state of decomposition, how can we prove she was, and how can we prove she was?
Well, they would most likely have collected a sexual assault kit in this particular case. Now, sexual assault kits are only valuable up to a point. After 3 or 4 days of decomposition, being able to get viable sperm from a sexual assault kit would be difficult. That being said, it has been done, but the longer time goes on, the less evidence you're going to have. But they would also be able to obtain evidentiary information from the clothing that she was wearing. Whatever swabs that they could collect from the clothing, from her body, and do DNA testing. Of course, with him living in the condo with her, his DNA is going to be on her.
The night that Jenn Soto's condo is searched, she and Stearns have to get out. So where do they go? They go to a hotel along with Stearns's parents. Listen what happens in the middle of the night.
We checked into the rooms. They had 239. I had 203. Opposite ends of the building. I brought my stuff up, went over and said goodnight, and then hit the sack.
After you guys went to your separate ways, when's the next time you talked to Stefan?
I got up at 6:30, 3 hours sleep, and went to the office because I figured he would be sleeping in, crashed and burned, and didn't speak to Jenn until 10:45-ish, and she called and asked if Stefan was with me, and I said, no. Why? Well, he's not here.
Well, I think we know where he was. Shannon Butler joining me, WFTV 9. Shannon, isn't it true that he and Jenn Soto are at one end of the hotel, his parents are at the other, his dad and stepmother at the other end of the hotel, and he sneaks out around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and drives 300 miles?
Yeah, if you know.
Hold on real quick. I like Nancy Grace's face there. Yeah, he did drive really far that night to go home, and I'm sure it was to we speculated many things, but I'm sure it was to go get the hard drive because he knew, and to sort out some details. He knew it was coming down on him, you guys. He knew that they wanted the phone. He knew, he had to have known the questions they were asking. Now, break down what amnesty did she receive. I'm not really sure whatever she said that day. I don't know how to answer that question. If anyone in chat wants to, we talked about the immunity that she got, the small immunity that she got, and why she got it, but that I'm not sure how to answer. So, but thank you for asking. I'm glad I caught that question. Amnesty. I don't know.
Know where Northport, Florida is. It is south, near Sarasota. He drove there because that's where his parents lived.
Wait, what?
Police say that he drove there not only to look a hard drive and a flash drive, but that he wanted to use their internet so he could log on to Wi-Fi, and they believe delete images that he had of sexually explicit things. It's a long, long drive to use somebody.
You're seeing the car trunk and car that police believe transported Maddie's dead body. According to police who followed, we now know, tracked the two cars, including Jenn Soto's car, through license grabbers, red light cams, surveillance cams to.
And on Monday, we're going to go over that drive, you guys. When I saw that come out, that video with the drive being tracked from that day particularly, and what Stefan did just in that short time of running around, getting a flat tire, dropping Maddie off. And then that night when he calls looking for Maddie, or cruising around looking for Maddie, going back to where he left her body, and what he may have done to her, and why the dogs hit on Jenn's car. I really want to talk about that, along with when he moved her body, when he stopped at that hotel, the random hotel, and moved her body from the front to the trunk. What happened? I have a lot to talk about. So, and Sadie's mama, thank you for being here. Love you. I think people are more interested in right now talking about their theories of the case, because we're kind of going over it, and people know they've heard this before. So it seems like what I see is everybody has a theory, and rightfully so. Merry Christmas. Yes, I hope we all have a better year than we did last year. Oh, and to all the mods, thank you for everything you've done all year. I think we're missing a couple. I don't see Carly here today, and I don't see Synth. I don't know. They're probably off doing weekend stuff, but everybody that is here, thank you. Thank you all.
A garage where he reportedly took Maddie's body out of the seatbelt and put it in the trunk. So, hey, Ray Giudice, that's not odd at all that you wake up at 3-4 o'clock in the morning and drive 150 miles each way to your mom's home and try to log on to the Wi-Fi. Not odd at all, right?
Right.
Well, his story doesn't line up, and I keep going back to, why did they take this statement and give immunity? Because as we go through this story today, in a systematic approach, the detectives had all of that tracking. They have what you just brought up, which is extremely suspicious at the minimum, and lots of evidence. So why did they give her immunity? I guess they really feel that she didn't commit a crime. That's the only thing I can think of.
Well, take a listen to what. This is Stefan Stern's father, Christopher, speaking in a police interview. Here's Stefan Stern's explanation of why he was missing for 300 miles. Okay. That's several hours driving.
And that was odd, because we heard the conversation with Stefan's dad when he talked to Stefan while he's in jail. And he said, I came over to help you and Jenn out. I got the hotel for you, and you didn't even spend any time. You took off and went to the house. And what were you doing? So it was really, I think he was getting his business, his affairs in order, and getting what he could if he thought he was going to get the hard drive. But they found a lot anyway. We're not going to see a decline in these kind of cases. All we can do is try to do our very best with our individual lives, and where we see something, say something, and try to protect the children that we know. I can tell you from my experience, I'm seeing more and more of this. I'm seeing even worse cases. I don't know how you can get much worse, but I'm seeing mothers taking their children's lives. I'm seeing mothers sell their children for $200 and even less than that. I don't know, but we can do what we can do. Yeah, why go 300 for Wi-Fi? He didn't go 300 miles for that. He wanted to get what he could. He wanted to get what he could before he was arrested. He knew it was coming. Hashtag arrest Jenn Soto. Good to see you, Darlene. I haven't seen you in a while. Merry Christmas. Yes, Krista. Yes. All right, let's look at some of this evidence.
Through Florida in the middle of the night. Listen.
Well, he had an energy drink in his hand. He said he got lost. On the back roads. Hell, I got lost, and I had a GPS.
So like my partner said, we're not here to waste your time. You've been in this line of work before. Did he tell you he was in Northport today?
No.
I'm assuming he didn't, based on your reaction.
To Tom Smith, former NYPD detective, co-host of a hit podcast, Gold Shields. You can find him at thegoldshieldshow.com. Tom, so the little girl is missing. They have to get out of the condo for the condo to be processed by police. And he drives about 6 hours round trip.
It was a 6-hour round trip, and yes, that was the crime scene, the condo. That's why they stayed in a hotel. But it's so odd, and this is hashtag arrest Jenn Soto. Why Jenn, knowing that Stefan was the prime suspect in this, after she knew about it? Okay, she found out about the sex stuff, but whatever. She didn't think Stefan would go take Maddie's life, according to her. Now, I want to try to answer this question. Why take her life? I don't, that's where it comes in. That's where the weird question comes in. Did Jenn do it and Stefan help dump Maddie's body? What would be the motivation for Stefan, unless it was accidental, unless he double dosed or triple dosed her? Remember, your heart slows down when you're taking sleeping pills like that. She died of strangulation. Her hyoid bone was broken. So that's not an accident, but maybe something happened to where it was accidental. Her breathing slowed. There, maybe the asphyxiation was part of the act, the essay, and yeah, you're right. Or it could have been this. We're all, remember, this is we're talking theories today. This is, in my opinion, entertainment purposes only right now, and Jenn could have walked in and been very, I've always said jealousy is the motivation in my mind. I still don't think pregnancy would be it, when you can go get a freaking abortion almost anywhere, even if it's illegal in your state. The black market is huge with being able to go get an abortion. So, yeah, I don't have a reason for you. I'm speculating on this. Poor Maddie should have had her own room and should have been safe in her home. I agree. Yeah, we all think that. And yeah, we just don't know. We're just speculating. Unless Stefan speaks up one day, we're not going to know.
In the middle of the night, shows up and says he got lost.
Yeah, not buying it. Sorry. 30 years of experience would lead me to believe that's a lie. But here's the other thing. If you're up on him and you're thinking of him as a suspect and they move away from that area, set up a surveillance on him. Set us up a surveillance on where he's staying, just in case something like this happens.
Yeah.
You don't have her body yet, which means it's still out there. The more police pressure that's put on him, the more he's going to panic and make a move like this. So why not set something up in the area just in case something like this happened? You follow him, then you got him.
So what does Stefan Stearns' mother, Deborah, have to say when she finds out he showed up at her house 150 miles away in the middle of the night to log onto her Wi-Fi and delete photos? Listen.
That mother, you know what stopped him from getting in the house? He didn't have a garage door opener. The front door lock is not working well.
Yep.
And I had put the lock on the slider.
Okay.
He couldn't get in.
Detectives now believe Stearns never intended to enter his parents' home, but wanted to use their Wi-Fi to delete images.
That is interesting, to use Wi-Fi to delete images. You don't need Wi-Fi to delete images, so I'm not sure. I know he was smarter than that. His mom crying wolf there bothers me a lot. And yes, Mama Stearns, Deb Stearns, and Chris Stearns, you guys are just as shady as the son that you raised and the son that you got out of things, that you paid to get out of situations, that he could have been a sex offender registered a long time ago, and that could have saved Maddie's life. So that his mom crying wolf the way that she does, oh, Stefan did this, and I'm talking to her like if she's watching this, you did that, you raised that, you condoned that, and you covered it up. Yeah, they made a predator, and they're not. When she cries wolf, she did that. She could have, that could have stopped a long time ago. All right. There's 860 people in here. Again, Merry Christmas to you all. I know this is a tough subject. As we come to the year's end, we're kind of just talking about things, the immunity from the perspective of an ex-prosecutor and all of these wonderful people that are on here that are experts. So hit the like button with 865 in here and help assist it out. All right, let's get in the algorithm, and next year, we're in 2025. Let's get up to 50,000 subscribers. All right. I appreciate you all. Thank you.
And videos depicting his years-long abuse of Maddie from his Google account. Stearns was unsuccessful, and investigators recovered the deleted files. Despite the turn away from Christopher Stearns' storage unit, he still decides to search the items inside. Stearns discovers 2 flash drives in a box of his son's belongings. Investigators find one of the drives containing nearly 35,000 images of child pornography.
35,000 images of child porn.
CSAM, you guys, CSAM. You guys know that it's called CSAM, child s material. That's what we call it. CSAM, adult material. Or wait, yeah, CSAM, not PORN. That's consenting adults. What if deleted from dark web that he was selling? What if he deleted images from? Well, he probably did. He probably deleted as much as he can, but it's not called PORN when it's children, you guys. It's CSAM, all right? Child SAM. It's like sexual assault material, all right? I wish I could say it without getting stricken on here. Parents created that monster. Absolutely. Yeah, Jenn slept through it. But she knew about it, though. She knew. She told the officers, what if he did do that? What if he did, but he didn't take her life? She knew. She knew. And it was awful, the things that he did to her. He damaged her body, I'll tell you, beyond repairs. In my opinion, in my experience of hearing about these cases, she was a little girl and he was a grown 6 foot something, 200 and something pound man.
To Shannon Butler, WFTV 9. What?
I know even we were shocked at that number when they first charged him, because remember, they charged him with that before they charged her or charged him with Madeline Soto's murder. And we knew that there was video on the phones.
Really?
They told us that very early on. But then when they got this flash drive and told us 35,000 images, we were like, how long has this been going on? How long has he been, downloading these videos? We still don't have an answer to that. I mean, we know it was years, but we don't know if it was 20 years or just the years he had been abusing her. It just got worse and worse as time went on, as we started to look into this case.
And then he moves in with Maddie Soto. Now, speaking of his walkabout, gone 6 hours in the middle of the night while Maddie is apparently missing. This is what Stefan Stearns has to say happened that night.
Is there some explanation of I came up Wednesday morning, met you at the hotel early in the morning, and is there some explanation why you left and went where you went?
I was driving around. I had wanted to grab a few things and get my ducks in a row, kind of prepare myself for whatever was coming, but
now he knew it was coming. When he's talking here to his dad, he's already in jail, and he knew. Yeah, Jenn Soto is pathetic. That was that first interview that we saw only a few times. Sonia says everything about this case makes me effing mad. And thank you, Jenn, for the Venmo. I appreciate that so much. You guys, this season has been great. And I can't wait for next year. I can't wait until I stop complaining about my roof. And when it's much warmer in here, you guys, it's been cold this year. But things could be worse, right? So hit the like button if you guys like, subscribe if you would. Nettie says he knew what was coming because he's guilty. Absolutely, he did. He knew it was coming, and he knows he's guilty. Jazz Dobie, thank you for becoming a new member. Oh, you won't be disappointed. All right, let's keep going.
I couldn't find what I was looking for. And then I ended up just kind of driving around aimlessly.
Yeah, he was looking for his mom's Wi-Fi password. That's what he was looking for. So, long story short, you were hearing a video call from behind bars. When will they learn to you, Tom Smith, that every phone call is recorded?
They never learn, and thankfully for that. You have the right to remain silent goes over their head, and don't talk on the phone goes over their head, and thankfully for that, because there's so much information that's given or taken from those calls that are vital to the investigation, just like this one.
Well, this is what.
Well, he was a night person, everybody. Most people that do things like that, they have to move around in the night. They have to meander around it at night. Remember, we saw him in his interview. He was sleeping. He slept for hours before they even came in. And then he was yawning the whole time. And that's all he did was sleep. But at night is when he attacked Maddie. When nobody was awake, after he had given her pills, that's the time to go on the attack, and then trading the pictures and probably selling them. And I'm sure with 35,000 pictures, he was trading and selling them. Thank you for getting a membership, Jazz Dobie, and Merry Christmas. Look at that greasy fried hat. Yes, that hat looks like he's never washed it, and it's like coming apart on the seams there. Well, it doesn't look like a hat; it looks like a beanie. Two disgusting human beings that we see on this right in front of us, you guys. And look at the people in the background, how they're looking at them. They're on center stage, and he was out hiding the ducks, right? I wonder if Stefan Stearns has a bigger bank account since Bitcoin has gone up in value. Very interesting. Very interesting. They're going to look into all of that. I mean, we're eventually going to get records to things. I do wonder, but I do want him to go on trial at some point. It's not going to be years from now. We'll talk about that later on.
What Father Christopher Stearns has to say.
Look, he spent a lifetime lying to us. Okay. And it's just never gotten better. And he fed me some bull the other day. And before I left the house the other night, I turned to my wife and I said, "Do we really know Stefan? Can we honestly say we really know?" Yeah. And she got really kind of defensive a little bit. I said, "No, I'm not saying that he did something, but can we honestly say we really know him?"
Will he be able to convince a jury of his innocence? Remember, both he and Jenn Soto are innocent in our country until proven guilty in a court of law beyond a reasonable doubt. At this time, Jenn Soto has not been named a suspect or a person of interest. In fact, the state has entered a deal with her, giving her immunity in exchange for testimony. We stop now and remember an American hero, Sergeant Patrick Michael Sondren, Peach County Sheriff's, Georgia, right, shot and killed in the line of duty.
And I love how she always does it there, right? Say a prayer for Maddie, of course, why we're here, and Sergeant Patrick Michael Sondren. These guys, they work hard out there, right? So I'm going to pull this down. Thank you so much. I'm assuming it's New Jersey Kathy for the $4.99. Have a Merry Christmas, Jay. Now, I want to bring this up. I don't know how much longer I'm going to stream, but we have 874 people. We're having good discussions, and I want to bring this up where Watts the Obsession talks. She's the one that got me thinking about all of this, that particular discussion. I hadn't seen that video yet because we've been focusing on lots of the FOIAs and I have 2 more interviews that I haven't played on my channel coming up for you on Monday and Tuesday. Hey Jay, and all long time since I've caught a live. Welcome, AstroTurf. Good to see you. Happy Saturday. All right, so I want to hear a little bit of, and I see Kylie Cosmos on there talking. I saw you the other night. My birthday twin. Let's listen to Watts Obsession. Is really the way she works things out. She's the one that's been covering the Watts case. She's on Watts Island. Oh no, there's an Amber Alert, you guys, on my phone right now. Let me see what that is. Hold on. As I'm talking, there's an Amber Alert, and I should tell you guys. So I'm in San Jose, California, and there's Monterey, San Benito, Santa Cruz, and Santa Clara counties. Last seen Livingston Avenue and San Antonio Drive. If seen, call 911. There's an Amber Alert for a child abduction. Celine Zavala, 7 years old, 3 foot, 90 pounds, brown hair. Let me show you this if I can. Last seen in a Nissan Altima black. All right, take a look at this, you guys. I don't know if you all are what your deal is or where you are, but there's a Amber Alert right here in my area. License plate 9EXF 349, and that black Nissan Altima is a very common car around here. So again, there's an Amber Alert for a 7-year-old little angel, and I hope she's okay. Look at her right there. She's 3 feet tall, 7 years old, 90 pounds. So I don't know if you guys are in this area and you got that, but yeah. All right. Well, yeah, let's say a prayer for that little angel. And it doesn't say parental. It just says that it's a little that it's a girl, a woman that has a tattoo on her face, kind of a scary chick. Does it say? No, it just says child abduction. Last seen with Jacqueline Guajardo, 28 years old, 5 feet, 190 pounds. They don't know who that is, so that's the last person that they saw her with in the black Nissan Altima, you guys. Yeah, I think Jenn, I live her in SS covered. Michelle, member for 5 months. Thank you. All right. Let's keep going. I want to hear some of the thoughts. This is what brought me to think about this today. What's the obsession?
Every fucking time it rains, it goes against, like, literally the genetic programming in human beings and the however many billions or thousands or millions of years, whatever you believe in, God or dinosaurs, evolution or whatever you believe in. It's going to be a different range of time, but it's a whole lot of time of adaptive evolution that causes human beings to not be able to literally not be able to pay attention to anything.
There's
but
men here.
The presence and sustaining of life of their own flesh and blood, their own child, if they believe that child is unwell or that they cannot protect them at that time. That is a fact. In fact, it's very much linked to the entire basis of why behavioral therapy is so effective, and we know how to do it so well. Not that I know how to do it as well, but humans know how to do it.
Go a little bit more forward. Okay.
Children, that he is the Antichrist, and
So we're listening to What's the Obsession real quick. We're going to go forward. I know, Patty. I know. I got started on this because I saw this episode. I started off right in the middle of the rant from Kelly at What's the Obsession. Thank you, Michelle, for the $4.99 super sticker. Let's listen to some yodeling. The invisible pickle. All right. It's Watson said. Let me go a little bit more forward. I just wanted you to hear this discussion because I thought you guys, when I heard it, and I was like, oh, we need to hear it. But I started right in the middle. Sorry.
Always said no. The cop is like, but you guys never had anal sex? No. So I'd love to see that train of thought in her mind, the movie in her mind's eye, the true crime movie. What's going on up there? Did he ever tell you that he had anal sex with anyone else? Not that I can recall, she says.
I feel like she's probably like, yo, investigator, if you can't tell that my ass stinks, then maybe you should be doing something else. Let someone else investigate this case because you're not picking up on the obvious. Rotten potato. Smelly.
So remember.
And I love that Kelly gets so upset now. She took that potato. So you guys got to know that we're starting trends over here, right? We've got the evil potato, and that potato, the evil potato that we call her, has gone over to Kelly's channel, What's the Obsession. So I'm very honored that with you guys that we're starting trends over here, right? She's a potato. We see it. We call it how we see it. And yeah, so Kelly was kind of breaking things down for us with plunder, and she was deep diving. I just wanted you guys to kind of see some of this and hear what she's talking about.
She did admit that Stefan told her he was having sex with that coworker, but did he really not go as far as saying, yeah, what kind of sex he had with her? I don't know what kind he did. You know, we only have the description we have, but
also, you asked me in the interview room about his triggers. I think trigger is like the wrong word to use because I couldn't think of triggers, but he does have a temper. He's very irritable and very negative about the world and things. Driving would piss him off. Like, depending on how people are driving around him, he'd get really irritable with that.
You don't know, man. If things like just sitting down at breakfast and there's like a banana and orange there and getting in the car and driving makes someone that agitated, let's just all take time to make sure we solidify this lesson within ourselves at least, because we all deserve better. Maybe that person fucking sucks. Leave. Let them hitchhike home or whatever, because like, oh, they were going to do bad things in your life anyway, so just make them go away.
I caught Kelly on a freaking rant, you guys. I got Kelly on a rant. Oh my god, it's funny. I started it like later on and she's like so mad. She gets so mad. Yeah, smash the potato. She's just, when she presents that case, she can't even help herself. We love you, Kelly. Oh my god. Yeah, I could not believe the COVID relief scam you found out about. What a mess. She should be under investigation for tax fraud at minimum. And I think that they should have to pay back that GoFundMe that everybody donated to for Maddie's funeral, and they didn't use that and they cremated her. That's a huge red flag, you guys, when someone does that. Why did they cremate her so soon? That bothers me a lot. Thank you. Always press like or I would not watch your. Thank you, Lorraine. I appreciate you. And see, I do have men in here. Look, I have a Mr. M right now that just commented. I have Chief in here. I have Tom Haneker. The men in here, it's 75% female because I look at my the statistics or demographics, 75% female and 25% male. So somebody asked earlier why men don't comment. There's some men out here watching. Maybe they're shy. All right, let's listen in a little more.
Would make him really. Certainly don't tell your 10, 11, 12, just turned 13-year-old daughter to go up in a bedroom and sleep with them behind closed doors in a single bed with a tripod and cameras and Solo lotion and a freaking like steel lock on the inside of the door. My God. Right? When we put it like that, and everything else we know and have talked about today, including the new people that gave us their.
All right, so we're going to listen in a little bit more because we're having the conversation. I appreciate you guys. I don't get to spend lots of Saturdays with you, so let's listen a little more to her thoughts. You guys keep commenting. I appreciate everybody. We still have 811 people in here, and she makes some good points, and then we'll wrap it up. I won't see you guys till Monday. I'll miss you all.
Their strong or their strong information fed opinion. It's like, duh. Obviously, on Christmas morning, if not sooner, there's gonna be a box of fucking charges for Jenn Soto. I don't even care if they got a bow or not. Just make sure they're there.
Irritable, like that, ask him to clean the house or help me with something.
Charge Jenn Soto. Come on. Yes.
Would he lash out and explode with me? No. But I believe he's done that with his parents.
Thank you for being here.
Has he ever done it with?
She is.
Lashed out in front of us like that.
Or to her?
To her? No, I don't think so, no.
Has he ever got irritated or angry with her?
Why is it taking so long for her to answer that? Has he ever got irritated or angry with her? Because you know what they're coming at. You know that her hyoid bone was broken and she was strangled. So how did she get strangled? What was the motivation? Did he do that? Did he lash out behind the scenes? Or was it you, Jenn Soto, that did that because of jealousy? So that's what we're kind of talking about here. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, I hope you guys all, what a fantastic gift that would be if Jenn Soto got arrested. Thank you guys all for, I see the PayPals, I see the Cash Apps, I see the Venmos, and some people don't want me to shout them out, but thank you. If you're the people that don't want me to say your name, thank you. Thank you guys for the donations. Thank you for having this channel. Keep going, and we're going to be even stronger next year.
I would say yes, but like typical parenting stuff, like If she didn't clean her room when she was supposed to, like, you know, coming down on her for something like that. Was it like anger out of the blue or anger, like random anger? No. It was always like Maddie wasn't doing what she was supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So we come down.
And when you say come down on her, obviously, do you mean discipline?
Yeah, with her. Yeah, we would never hit her. We were never physical with her.
Okay.
We would just be like, you're supposed to be doing this, you're not doing this.
We would just shove his disgusting, like some of you gave the description was junk in her mouth, but we wouldn't get physical with her or anything, not like that. We'd never do that. Just junk in the mouth and stuff like that. That's all we do. Yeah, I knew all about it. It was fine. I need to take him to bed. Get a good night's sleep. Get some Botox the next day. Had 2 days off work. You know,
she's so
makes
mad.
sense to America and the world beyond America. Hello, all my friends in Australia and elsewhere. Oh my God, I cannot even. Chick Tracy, thank you so much for gifting 5 Watts the Obsession True Crime memberships. I really appreciate you. And it's
All right. So you know what I'll do is I'll have you guys go over me going back and forth again. Shout out to Watts the Obsession, you guys. I love Kelly. She is hilarious. And I'd love for my crime crew to be over there. Now I have that interview just as well and I can grab it, but I really wanted to shout my girl out. It's hard to understand their conversation, the conversation that's going because Kelly's talking loud, and when you listen to the conversation it's low. So when I keep hiring it, then she's too loud or it's too low. So I don't feel like doing that, but I do love her snark. I love Kelly. She's just a gorgeous human being. Every time I talk to her, she's just such a love. She always invites me on her channel, and I just have mad respect for her. Now, I want you guys to know it's 5:55 over here in California, which you know is the 555. That's my angel number. Every time I see that, it means, there's an angel around, or for me to say a prayer. I'm not trying to be cheesy or anything, but yeah, Kelly's great, Petty Mason. And yeah, we much love when channels can come together like that. I really feel like that's love, because YouTube is behind the scenes, you guys. YouTube is rough. I didn't know that until I started my channel. All right, you guys. So I absolutely love that you guys made it here on a Saturday. I'm so grateful that I had 800 and something people and chat, and you guys smashed that like button, gifted whatever membership, super chat, super stickers. You're in the spirit. I love you guys. I love that you say I love your angel numbers. Well, thank you. I've heard some people say other things about it, but hey, I try not to listen to the negative. I try to tune that out. All right. Say a prayer for Maddie, you guys. I'm going to go check on my little girl that I was up with. She was sick last night. Sandra McKee, I'm glad that you caught alive. Smash that like button on the way out. If you want to shout out to me and say Merry Christmas, go over to guiltyofcrime.com and check out my guiltyofcrime@gmail.com stats. And I love you guys. Thank you so very much. Merry Christmas. I'll see you guys on Monday. I've got lots more things to talk about. All right. What is the docket talking about? I don't know. You guys should head over to his channel and check it out. Much love to all channels that are respectable. Good night, you guys. I love you.
Guilty of Crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of Crime.
Are you guilty of crime?